You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry, ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is a new Game of Thrones reaction video. And as always, for these Game of Thrones reactions, I'm joined by my co-host Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
Hello, it's great to be back talking some more Game of Thrones. We didn't plan this, but I did think it's kind of funny that our outfits are the opposite of one another,
Yes.
where I'm wearing a gray hat and a red shirt, and you're wearing a red hat and a gray shirt. I thought that was
Color
pretty amusing.
coordination.
Yeah, I didn't. That wasn't planned, but I did think it was pretty hilarious. I guess it goes with the theme with the Targaryens and all that stuff, though.
Yeah, they are in the news. We've had a Hall H panel recently happen about House of the Dragon. George, he says he's still working. There will be no George R. Martin cameos until he finishes the book, or so he says. So well, apparently he's still behind the writer's desk sometimes, every now and again. But we also
Yeah,
got a new trailer, like a full-length trailer this time.
yeah.
Supposedly we start the series with, I believe he said 17 dragons, 17 different dragons at the beginning of House of the Dragon. I don't know. Something I was excited to hear is that they are going to focus more heavily on the dragons being their own individual characters in this show. They're going to have the personalities and we're going to get to know them, because we really only get that with Drogon a little bit in Game of Thrones, at least to where we are right now. The poor other
Yeah,
two
the
have
other
been
ones are locked away
they've been jailed.
pretty much the entire show so far.
And Drogon's the only one who's been given this like kind of little pseudo personality. But you did a reaction too, right? Like we both did a trailer reaction to it if you want to hear our full thoughts. But just real quick, what were your general thoughts of that House of the Dragon trailer?
I thought it was pretty great. I mean, at least as someone who hasn't seen the full ending of this show, and I don't have like that full fiery hatred and resentment of Game of Thrones going into it yet. I mean, as a prequel, it looks really intriguing. It reminds me a lot of like the earlier on, more political stuff that we saw in Game of Thrones, like the first couple seasons where it was like a lot of clashing between different houses. That's still prevalent in the show now, but I think just reminds me of earlier on Game of Thrones with the political aspects. Plus, there's a bunch of more dragons. I mean, I think the dragons were one of the coolest aspects, which is kind of what I expected going in, because dragons are awesome, and now that we have so many more of them because this is a prequel, which in the same sense, like we kind of have an idea of where it's going to go because it's a prequel, and Daenerys is the only Targaryen left. So we kind of know the history in a sense of where inevitably the show will end up. But nevertheless, I still think it looks great. The cast, I think, are doing a great job. Some of the actors, I quite enjoy. Matt Smith is my guy as a longtime Doctor Who fan. So it's been great to see him get more and more roles like this. And I guess Morbius, because that turned into a meme. But
what? Like, I guess it's kind of cool because it has been a while since he wrapped his stint as the Doctor.
yeah,
And it's cool to see him start really blossoming over the last, I don't know, a couple years or so, getting a lot of other high profile work. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
happy for Matt Smith.
Yeah, a lot of the doctors inevitably end up getting some sort of big franchise. The only one that hasn't really appeared in anything big yet is Jodie Whittaker, because she's still, she's still actually the Doctor currently. But everyone else has been in like, one of the big Marvels, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, one of the many of the other ones. Like David Tennant, he's in Marvel. Matt Smith is in Game of Thrones. He was also in Terminator, but we don't talk about that. And Christopher Eccleston, he was Malekith in Thor: Dark World.
Yeah. I also love Olivia Cook, her character. We'll see how she's adapted, I suppose. Not the biggest fan of that character, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Through the book, but I love Olivia Cook, so she already looks.
I do think she's. I liked her in the trailer, but I do think the Targaryens themselves are more intriguing. Of course, Matt Smith, and also Rhaenyra Targaryen. I believe that was her name. She was giving off very heavy Daenerys vibes in the trailer. I didn't like, at least that's what it felt like to me.
They were talking about putting on the braided wig. She's like, it feels like a Targaryen, like passing of the torch, putting on the big braided wig.
The wigs in the show were definitely some of them are better than others. So I guess that's the nicer way to put it, because like some of them are a bit more realistic than others.
The costumes look amazing though, and the set designs look fantastic. I mean, you could tell HBO definitely did not spare expense when watching that trailer.
No, I mean that shows has to be super expensive just because you have, like you said, 17 dragons.
And not to
Um,
pit like the fantasy fandoms against each other. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure they spent more money on the Power of the Rings, and
they
it looks a
did
lot more chintzy than that Game of Thrones House of the Dragon
the
trailer.
that Lord of the Rings of Power is the most expensive show ever. If I remember, I could be wrong, but I remember them saying the first season of Rings of Power was like $460 million,
Which is insane.
which is, I
Absolutely
mean, I think
nuts.
it's 10 episodes, so that's like $46 million an episode.
I hope the product looks good when we see the finality of it all. But
Yeah,
right now, I'm like, oh, y'all good. Amazon, you better step up your game because HBO still got y'all mopped when it comes to visuals. Well, coming back to the more modern of the two series, we have Game of Thrones. Last episode, Ren joined us to watch one of the more mind-bendy episodes of the season. But before we got there, we see Sansa meeting up with Littlefinger to confront him on what he did and how it affected her before John and Davos and Sansa come up with a plan to try to rally all of the smaller houses of the north and then to go rally their uncle, the Blackfish, over in her mom's home of River Run. So Brienne is heading there to try to reason with Blackfish while Sansa, John, and Melisandre and Davos all are on their way to the littler houses of the north that have not declared for the Boltons. Then we see Yara making her plea to become the queen of the Iron Islands. She gets a little pushback, but once Theon, comes to her side, they seem to all rally behind her before their uncle Euron ruins everything.
it was going so well till then too.
And he kind of convinces them to follow him instead with this promise that he's going to seduce Daenerys and get those dragons on their side to take over the world. And while all that's going on, Theon and Yara were like, you know what? Bye. And they stole all of the best ships in his fleet and pieced out with the men loyal to her. So they're gone. Then we also get Jorah, well, revealing to Daenerys that he has grayscale. And inevitably, he will go mad and lose his mind. So he is going to leave her before that happens. But we see Daenerys, she's fully come around now. And it's like, well, trying to keep up a little bit of a strong front is like, no. Yeah, I command you to find a cure and come back to me. So
Fingers crossed.
Jorah's off to find a cure while Daenerys now has her army and is headed back to Meereen with Dario Naharis. Then we see Arya getting her ass whooped once more. The waif just, with a stick, without a stick, she threw up them fists. She took Arya down.
Or Arya.
And Jockin is like, all right, girl, let me take you on the history lesson before I give you a new job. We need you to kill this actress. So Arya sees this wretched play about her father's death and King's Landing and sees that it's one of these actresses she has to kill for the faceless men. And then over in Meereen, Tyrion and Varys are trying to recruit another red priestess to rally the troops,
That
to
was
rally the
wild.
people behind Daenerys. And Varys tried to get in a little chess match with her, and she had him shook to the core.
Me too.
But she's gonna help. She's gonna preach the word of Dany to the foe. Finally, we see beyond the wall. Bran is warging around as per usual, and he decides to go on his own, and he wargs right to where the damn Night King is in the middle of this horde. The Night King exposes that he can kind of cut through these visions and grabs Bran, putting his mark on him, allowing the Night King into this magical cave that they weren't able to get into before. And just madness ensues. The Night King and the White Walkers arrive. They bust down in there. We see that the Night King can walk through fire, and the others are freaked out by it. Summer does what she can. Unfortunately, it's almost nothing. Her sacrifice is not much.
It was disappointing seeing her go
Yeah.
out that way.
Max von Sydow gone. The three-eyed raven is now dead. We see the last of the children of the forest sacrifice herself and explode, taking out a good chunk of White Walkers with her. At least her sacrifice had an impact on the battle. All of this while Bran is stuck in the past. He's warged back to, again, when his father was young, training in the yard. And Mira is like screaming, "We need Hodor, please, Jesus." And so he does this simultaneous warg linking future, present day Hodor to past Hodor and himself. And it causes young Hodor to go into this seizure as he sees the vision of his future. And current day Hodor is literally holding back all of the White Walkers as Mira screams at him to hold the door while she's just dragging lifeless Bran behind her. And we learn that as he was like seizing up, seeing his future and seeing his fate hold the door, slowly morphed into Hodor. And he kind of was mentally traumatized after that. And that Hodor only said that one word for his entire rest of his life.
What a shame.
And R.I.P. to Hodor. So pretty much Bran's entire clan gone. It's just him and Mira now.
Pretty much. And who knows where they're going next? I mean, they're just out there somewhere.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know how long Hodor, as he died, was able to hold off an entire horde of White Walkers. How far Mira can pull Bran on her own away from those White Walkers.
That's why I feel bad, because she's got to lug him around and do all that. So, and run away from however many.
I guess let's see if they give us that answer or not in this episode, season 6, episode 6, Blood of My Blood.
We're just flying around on this map, aren't we? Right. I'm noticing we're just literally flying all around the map now. It seems like in previous seasons, it was just so simple. It was like a couple little places around. I guess we're starting off with Bran getting lugged away. Well, at least they got away, right? For now, I guess.
Oh, it seems pretty peaceful out here. Ooh, he's still warged away.
He's having a great time.
I don't know. I feel like I might be a little bit annoyed if I were the person with him and he just was warged away.
Right. Ooh. And he's getting to see all the traumatizing stuff that we had to watch throughout the show. Oh.
Ooh, girl.
I guess it's out of the question to leave him behind, right? Oh. They might want to run. Or something. Hey, welcome back.
Hey. They found us. Hi.
Well, no shit. But thank you, Captain Obvious. Well, this is
Mira said,
great.
It's over.
Oh. Who is this mysterious figure?
Oh?
Oh. What a scythe. Ooh. Damn. Ooh.
Oh, damn.
That guy got it the worst. All right, this person's the MVP.
Come with me now.
Come with me.
Girl, hurry.
The dead don't rest.
Yeah, pull him up. She's
Poor
tired.
Bran. Right.
Ooh, this horse. You're a champ horse.
All right. Well, that was pretty cool. Glad they somehow survived. Oh, it's Gilly.
Green.
Oh, yes.
What did you tell your family about me?
I feel like we're setting up some really interesting
Did you tell
shenanigans when we get to our destination.
It wasn't a very large piece of parchment. My father doesn't like wildlings. He hoped I'd make a man of myself by killing some bloody wildling, so it's probably a good subject to avoid, if at all possible.
Oh, looks nice.
I'm happy to know you, Lady Tali.
Well, we're starting off positive at least, right?
This is our son.
It's me, your grandmother.
Well, he looks very happy to see her.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Light blue or silver? Silver maybe.
Oh, Gilly's gonna get all made up and look all purty for dinner.
Choose one of my bedrooms. Oh, okay.
Must be nice, right?
Will be protected the entire way.
Oh,
The faith militant are very stern with those who overstep their bounds.
I mean, we did see that.
Queen
Yeah.
Marjorie, would you like to see her?
Oh,
Say yes. Yay, reunion. Finally. Marjorie's looking much better now.
and just
Also,
look like they've let her bathe and kind of clean up a little. Hmm.
well,
He says no other way.
we're gonna get one for Marjorie too.
There's something about him. His way of looking at the world. It's not an easy thing admitting to
Damn.
himself what he really is.
The delusions have gotten to her, I suppose.
He's helped me. I had lots of time to think about how good I was at seeming good. All those stories I told myself.
All right, who is this Marjorie? Like, what happened? Who is this
There were so many
body
lies
snatcher
in those
clone of the character?
Such a relief to let go of those lies. What about Loris?
Yeah, what about him? Where is he? Is he still alive?
I love my brother. I will always love my brother. His soul is pure and perfect.
I feel a butt coming on.
Mhm.
His sins don't erase that purity, they only obscure it. He just needs to atone for them.
Mm-mm-mm.
They all do.
Actually, never mind. Put her back. I don't think I need to see Marjorie anymore. Sorry.
Oh.
Aw. Look at Gilly.
Like, well,
Hard to walk in this.
I was gonna say she looks like she was struggling to walk. Who knew Gilly cleaned up that good?
hey, Gilly.
Good for them. Hopefully, the rest of this goes much better. I see he's very happy to see him. Is that Vigilante from Peacemaker?
I just saw him in a Harry Potter react I did recently.
Oh, really? Yeah, he is in the last couple.
Lord.
Brought it down from 70 yards, one shot.
All right.
Mostly deer, or is it elk as well?
Do you not know where they are located?
Gilly, she's quite.
Oh,
This conversation is going well.
Our father would never teach us. I think our father could learn a thing or two from your father.
ooh.
Oh,
Not fat enough already.
all right. This is an extremely awkward dinner table.
I thought the Night's Watch might make a man of you.
Something resembling a man at least. She managed to stay soft. A sword.
Randall, to be Maester of the Night's Watch is a great honor.
He can wield a sword.
We've seen him kill people.
He killed a Sen. Killed a White Walker.
Oh,
There's no such thing.
I'm sorry, sir. Have you ever left here? Have you been north?
Yeah. Yeah, what's vigilante now?
Dagger into the Walker's heart. He risked his own life to save mine more than once. He's a greater warrior than either of you will ever be.
All right, go Gilly. Woo.
Where are you from? Did you come to meet my
Well,
son?
the story has been broken, I guess.
Where?
North of the wall.
North
Oh.
of the wall.
He said, I'm tired of these people. I'm going to just say it.
They just got there. It's already ruined.
It's called Heartsbane.
Now, that's a cool sword name.
In our field of fire.
Say,
Valerian steel. Only a handful of them left in the world.
yeah, I think
Supposed to go to my first
we're gonna need to take that back for some battles later.
I took you for a mole's town hall when I saw you.
All right, I think we need to take that sword down and take him out at this point.
I overestimated. This you getting back at me, boy? Bringing that to my table and making me dine with it.
Fight back, Sam.
Sir, do you
Fight
see that this is just a woman?
Yeah, like
I've lost my appetite.
Oh.
He dishonors us.
At least one of his parents had sense. Yes.
yeah. Now it's just Sam, vigilante, and this douche.
Please, sir, I'll take the wildling in. You can work in the kitchens.
Oh,
This will be the last night you ever spend at Hornhill.
what a jerk.
Jesus. Well, his father was about as terrible as we had heard.
Yeah, that's true. Now that we've actually seen him be a complete jerk to everyone, pretty much. All right, back so soon.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
What you think?
I don't have anything. What are you doing?
We belong together. Oh, they'll understand.
take the sword.
His dress.
She won't mind.
Yeah, she's gonna take the sword.
It's better on you anyway.
She has plenty of dresses, Gilly.
That's your father's
Right.
sword.
Wow.
It's my family sword.
It's a big sword.
Sam. What are you doing?
He can bloody well try.
Oh!
Yeah!
Okay, Samuel.
Samuel got that confidence boost. You get to see another horrible play. Just kill me now. Well, at least this moment was actually pretty good. At least Arya's enjoying it, right?
And there is no tomorrow.
The Meryl Streep of Westeros.
I guess get her the equivalent of an Oscar in Game of Thrones world. We even got to recreate them killing Tywin on the toilet.
Good old Richard E. Grant.
And it's Richard E. Grant. I knew he was in this from last episode, but I didn't realize he was Tywin Lannister.
How many times have you seen this stupid play?
3 times?
Did you pay?
No.
Asking the important questions.
How would you change it?
We gonna rewrite this script?
Like pretending to be other people.
Oh.
Well,
I have to go. My father's waiting for me.
all right. Great talk. Yeah, go drink.
No laugh for Ned's death. These people are worse than animals. But they loved her. Who's anyone to judge my work? This is my profession. I know what
Oh,
I'm
so
doing.
close. Oh, Oh. Changed her mind, I guess.
Careful of that one. She wants you dead.
Oh.
Ooh. All right.
Well, fuck.
Oh, great. You even got the waif on the case.
Oh, she going. She said, you know what? I'm done.
I quit.
It's time to bring Arya back out the woodwork.
I am somebody again.
Good thing you didn't throw Nito out, Arya.
Don't let her suffer.
Oh.
Oh, God. Well, I guess the waif's been waiting for this, huh? Yeah, you can tell how excited she is, an evil girl. Like, all right, come on, Arya. I'll be rooting for you.
Good old mace. Have you ever used that armor for something other than showboating?
Right, yeah.
Madness has had its day!
Evil dies tonight.
Rousing speech. Yeah, that's that is the Game of Thrones equivalent to Evil Dies Tonight, I guess, right?
Uh-oh, we about to get another Shane moment.
She turned a blind eye to her brother's sins. She disgraced her house,
I mean, she seems into it.
her king.
Oh.
Oh. We gonna stop this finally? Stop this madness with the High Sparrow? Please.
Right. Full plan is now going into effect. Yeah.
She gets the VIP drop off lane. I see. She's all fanning herself and everything.
Sir Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt. We're here for Queen Marjorie and Dolores Tyrell.
I don't have the authority to give them to you. And you don't have the authority to take them.
Oh?
Well, all right, let's do this then. Right. I was like,
Ooh.
what you gonna do? We're gonna run up these steps, get in your face.
I speak for King Tommen of House Baratheon, first of his name.
The gods don't recognize his authority in this matter.
You've already insulted one great house. It won't happen twice. Every last sparrow will die before Marjorie Tyrell walks down that
No.
street.
All right.
The service of the gods would please each and every one of us. We yearn for it.
All right then. Say less.
And I suppose I'll grant your wishes.
Right. Yeah.
But there is no call for it today.
Oh, okay.
Oh. They just rolled up to this with his army, and he's like, actually, nah. Never mind. Psych. Oh, Lena does not look happy about this.
It's like, I gotta make sure my son don't make a fool of it all. Let me hear.
By bringing another into the true light of the seven.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Seriously.
Together, we announce a new age of harmony.
Boo.
A holy alliance between the crown and the faith.
Boo. Why are you cheering? Don't cheer for this. Tomato.
Together, we will restore the Seven Kingdoms to glory.
I hate Tommen. What a complete pushover. Like through and through. Respectfully. Resign.
We've drawn up the papers. All you have to do is accept and leave.
He's beaten us.
Beaten by this man that's wearing the most
Damn
raggedy
you,
looking
Jonathan
clothes.
Price. Uh-oh.
When you attack the faith, you attack the
Oh.
crown. Anyone who attacks the crown is unfit to serve as Lord Commander of the King's Guard.
I've been a member to do anything.
Yeah, Tommen.
I have
to answer to the gods.
Oh my
Not
god.
when you're sitting in that
Jesus
chair.
Christ.
Will I be walking naked in the streets?
Wow, that could be interesting.
First, to teach me about the gods' mercy.
But not in this city.
We're sending you to another branch.
Lost it.
What?
Oh.
No.
Yes, Father. It's a castle.
This guy?
Not a bloody sheep.
Freaking Walder Frey?
Presumably you still know where it is. They're laughing at us all across the Riverland.
Good.
Right down the Kingston.
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
I'm not dead yet, unfortunately for you.
Unfortunately for me too.
Sadly, yeah. I mean, if he keeps yelling like this, he might have an aneurysm or a stroke and die.
Well, you are too old for all this hollering.
You'll show him the knife you used to kill Robb Stark's child in its whore mother.
Jesus Christ.
Cheer up, Lord Edmure.
Hmm.
You're going home. I'm being sent to deal with the bloodfish. Apparently, Walder Frey can't manage it on his own because he's 400 years old.
I was beginning to wonder if we were going to see Cersei this episode.
To the Riverlands and a siege that could last months. Have him gather the best killers he knows. I'll take them to the sea and I'll remove.
Oh. He's like, I'm just going to kill this man. No thanks. I don't want to be taken somewhere else.
Stand at the head of our army where you belong. My father wanted you.
I mean, unfortunately, Cersei does make sense in the situation.
Show them what Lannisters
But
are, what we do to our enemies. It will be a trial by combat. I have the mountain.
yeah, I don't think you can really lose a trial by combat with the mountain. Especially at this current state.
There's nothing you can do. She got the mountain.
Yeah. Especially since the mountain is basically like a Frankenstein monster right now. I think she'll be good.
We've always been together. We'll always be together.
Don't remind us.
Yeah, like, I mean, any other people, this could be okay, I guess.
Yeah. This might be touching or something, but you just have to always remind us of that bullshit.
Whatever. Oh, shit.
John was waiting for your ass to come down so long ago.
I mean, like, oh, shit. That was a while. Like I said, yeah. Yeah, drink this really gross drink that I just made.
You're like, what the hell's wrong with you? You've been living beyond this wall too damn long. Tell me to drink this.
Well, especially because you saw how it was prepared. It was disgusting. Well, I guess he didn't say it, but we did. He woke up after it was prepared.
You know, he's sleeping like usual. Shit.
He sleeps a lot. Daenerys bringing back this like giant, like country-sized army.
From Marine, and after that we sail for Westeros. And what then?
I take what is mine.
Oh,
all right.
You weren't made to sit on a chair in a palace.
What was I made for?
You're a conqueror, Daenerys Stormborn.
Wait here.
Daenerys just gonna go off by herself.
Daenerys just literally peacing out for a while all the time.
Yeah,
people like,
I'll be back.
It's hot as hell. What's she doing?
Yeah.
Get us out this sun.
Just sit here and wait, my thousands of army people. People were like, what the hell?
These horses are getting restless. Like, come on now.
They've been sitting there for like 10 seconds and they're already getting antsy.
Oh, okay. Dario said I had enough.
Yeah, they waited a good, like, what? 20 seconds. Oh. Dragons there. Well, at least it's their dragons, right? I mean, I hope.
Ooh, these Dothraki are like, the hell?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, oh shit. I think Drogon has gotten like even bigger now.
All right.
Look at him. He's huge.
Woo!
He's been eating, I guess. Fuck. I think Daenerys could just straight up ride Drogon now. Oh, she is riding him.
Hey.
Makes sense. Well, now she looks even more badass because she's on the back of a damn dragon.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Drogon, I just can't get over how huge Drogon is now. All right. Well, it's kind of hard not to get hype when she's saying all this stuff on top of a giant dragon.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's do this.
The Dothraki are on board.
Would be too. I mean, that's pretty badass.
All right. Well, that was episode 6 of season 6. Daenerys giving us that nice little meaning of the episode title, Blood of My Blood. Come.
Right. Yeah. I was wondering when the title would end up coming full circle with this episode.
Yes. Okay. So I mentioned in our last reaction something I thought that happened in that episode. It was actually the atonement moment I thought happened in episode 5, but it happened in this one with Jaime and them confronting the High Sparrow.
A mess.
But we'll just start off with that mess. Oh, so we see Tommen talking to the High Sparrow at the beginning. I don't know, telling the High Sparrow how he's concerned. He doesn't want Marjorie to make the walk. But the High Sparrow is like, no, they'll treat her nice. Not like they did your mama. Your mama, everybody hated her. They like Marjorie. They're not going to be as vicious this time around. But you could go talk to her if you want. And we see Marjorie. And it's kind of unclear at that point. Is she trying to spin a game herself? Or has she fallen clutch to the High Sparrow's game?
I don't know.
Because he knows how to spin a game too quick. So the new and reformed Marjorie is like, no, we have to give ourselves over to the faith of the gods. And I was evil. Learn the ways of the seven, Tommen. So we then cut to her standing on the steps as the High Sparrow says, everyone, we now see evil Marjorie, but she needs to atone for her sins. But the plan we heard previously gets thrown into action. The plan that Cersei and Jaime got Olenna, Mace, and we thought Kevin Lannister in on. And they all march on the High Septon and are like, no. We're not going to let you parade her through here on this atonement. We will kill every single one of you and burn this place to the ground before we let that happen.
I was rooting for it.
We were all ready. We were ready for some action.
The war, yeah.
Olenna came in her little carriage. She was prepared.
She wanted a front row seat
and then
to the
High
madness.
Sparrow was like, no, it's okay. We would happily die in the name of our lords, but not today, because Marjorie has already atoned for her sins by bringing forth Tommen and connecting the king and the faith as the leaders of the country. Mace is just sitting there clueless as usual. So then we see Jaime being dismissed basically by Tommen. And he's like, you attacked the faith, which means you attacked me and the crown, and I cannot stand for it. So apparently they're sending him on a mission to go take back the Tully River Run kingdom from the Blackfish.
They did the thing that you joke about. We've transferred you to another branch. Basically.
Jamie's like, I don't want to go. But Cersei's like, look, I need you to go. Okay, you got to go. I don't want you storming in there and getting yourself killed. No. We're going to take them down. But this is part of the long game right now. We got to play the long game. Don't worry about me. I got the mountain. We're going to be okay.
I like how that's just like the ultimate contingency plan. Like, I got this giant Frankenstein monster that's like arguably immortal on my side. So we good.
Ever since Cersei got out of the clink, she's been chill. She knows she got that on her side, so she's been chill as a cucumber up in the Red Keep. So how did you feel about the King's Landing storyline this episode?
Took me for quite a loop because I was like, okay, cool. We're going to see some Marjorie, and seems like Marjorie has been kind of brainwashed into the thinking of the High Sparrow. I think that she's actually believes it, unfortunately, because she's just been, tortured, I guess, mentally, emotionally, physically for so long. I guess this, she finally cracked, as opposed to Cersei, who did everything and is still very vengeful and and still does not care for the High Sparrow. So that's the other side of the coin, I guess, seeing Marjorie actually take to those beatings and the teachings and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, Tommen is just so frustrating as like a character, as a king, in that, like, he's just so easily manipulated. I feel like, I feel like at every turn he's been manipulated in like his very short life as the king. Like, I don't think he's really ever made like his own decisions pretty much ever, no matter who's pulling. Like, it seems like someone is always pulling his strings, whether it be Marjorie, whether it be the High Sparrow, whether it be his mother. It seems like Tommen is not capable, I guess, of making his own decisions. I mean, I was rooting for Jamie and them to just take everybody out and try and call it a day, but I guess the High Sparrow had other plans, and he continues to be very formidable, even though he is just standing there. He's not like he's like a formidable foe, I guess, physically. He's just that cunning and that smart, and that's what makes him, I guess, a more hard adversary to defeat, because he just keeps manipulating people in a very interesting way. I guess Loras just doesn't get a chance. I guess Loras just gets to chill in the cell for forever and be miserable.
Marjorie kind of ditched his ass in there.
But even Marjorie isn't really on his side as much these days.
Well, then beyond the wall, we pick up right where we left off last episode. Mira, I mean, she's running for her life. She's trying, but there is one too many hills, and she's like, she just has a breakdown, and it's
accepts death at this point.
She's like, look, I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. I'm never gonna outrun them. And at that time, a mysterious figure shows up. He's got his little like flame weapon.
It's like a spinning ball on like a mace, like a spinning mace, but it's like on fire.
And he comes through, saves the day, throws him on his horse, and rides up on out of there. During which, Bran is having visions of the past, mostly the past. We see the Mad King wildfire, finally.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yes, we see the Mad King with his wildfire blowing shit up, a dragon flying overhead once again. A lot of what we saw in season 4, actually, and then more with the Night King. And then we see it revealed that this is Benjen Stark, who we haven't seen since like season 1, but who John was like waiting for the entire season, hoping he came back. And we learn he got almost killed, like halfway killed by a White Walker. And then the Children of the Forest saved him, so he's like half dead. He's like half decomposed.
That's why he had like his like little vanity scarf thing going on.
So how'd you feel about the little Bran moments we got?
Bran and his stuff have never really been one of my favorite storylines, particularly. Like, it's fine, but I'm not really sure the direction we're going with this information. I feel like that's kind of one of the more frustrating things about it. Like, where does this lead to everything that else is going on in the everything else in like Westeros and all of that stuff? I don't feel like it's connecting as well, which is kind of frustrating, at least to me personally. I don't know about you. I mean, I'm glad, I guess, they survived, because it seemed like that was going to be the end. But, it seemed like they were just finally going to accept death, and they were just going to move on from their storyline. But instead, they got saved by, like you said, the character we haven't seen since season 1. So I guess it's good that he's back, and he's, I guess, like you said, kind of half dead, half alive. That could be useful, I guess, if they're still going to probably have to fight off some people in this weather. Also, another set of hands to lug Bran around, because that seems to be,
horse.
That too, the horse, of course. But it seems like you got to have more people to lug Bran around, because he can't do it himself. Now that Hodor's gone, good for them. I'm curious to see where it's going to go, though, now that we have that additional person in the little group, at least hopefully somewhere more interesting.
Well, then we see Arya back at the play watching, and we get to see a little bit more pleasant of a spot in the play this time, Joffrey's death.
The more pleasant part is Joffrey's
pleases
death.
Arya. Pleases her very much, but she sees that this woman she's supposed to kill is quite talented, at least. So she goes back there, still poisons the drink, but then starts having a little bit of conversations with this lady Crane. She realizes who hired her was that other actress. She's like, I know it
That's
was
petty.
you who hired us to kill this woman.
So petty.
At the last minute, she has a change of heart and can't do it. Can't kill this innocent woman. So she smacks the drink out of her hand and warns her about that little young actress. Unfortunately, the waif is there. The waif keeping tabs on Arya, following her around to make sure she does her job. And she reports back to Jaqen that, yeah, she couldn't go through with it yet again. And says, you promised me I could kill her. So says, go do it, but make it painless.
She was waiting for that one.
But Arya went. I think she's kind of in the mindset of, actually, I need to become Arya again. I can't do this. Like, I can't just be killing people, these innocent people for no damn reason. So she's hid out somewhere else with her little sword. But how did you feel about Arya this episode?
I mean, I do think it was a good episode for her character. A certain sense, she didn't do the right thing in the sense that, you know, she was supposed to go kill this woman randomly because another actress put a hit on her, I guess. Yeah, but it was nice to see Arya have that moment, you know, have that realization. I don't know how that's going to fare for her in the long run, because now that she's got the waif on her tail and the waif seems very, very hyped to go and kill her. And as we've seen through the many times that she's fought the waif, it does not go well, because the waif seems to be like ultra kung fu master.
Neo of Westeros.
Well, yeah, we see them fight so many times, and I don't think she's ever won any of the fights. But at least as far as the character growth goes, I do like that Arya has that moment and, you know, realizes that maybe this path isn't for her anyways. You know, she had that realization before killing this random innocent woman, because the woman seemed pretty nice.
An actress, she's not really harming anyone, not really killing anyone or anything. So
no, it was kind of a weird hit anyway, like a whole like weird assassin hit on this like actress compared to like all the other things going on in the world.
Meanwhile, I forgot to bring him up. How'd you feel about seeing Walder Frey back in the action, Tyler?
Oh man, I was hoping he would just keel over and die. I mean, he looks like he's about like 99% in the grave anyway.
Yelling, hooting, and hollering because they got the river run taken away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna bring him back, so that's kind of frustrating if we're gonna have Walder Frey return after the last horrible time we saw him.
Well, then we also see Samwell and Gilly on their way back to his home of Hornhill, and he's nervous. She's like, it'll be fine, but he's like, no, my dad hates wildlings, he hates me, so don't tell him you're from north of the wall, please.
The common thread of everyone hating wildlings.
So they get there. Sam's mom seems lovely and his sister seems cool. They welcome them in with open arms. And Gilly gets put into a dress, a fancy dress for the first time in her life. Looks like a lady of Westeros, I guess. The dinner goes about as horribly as it possibly could. They try to make a little small talk. Sam actually seems to be getting on with his brother Dickon, vigilante. Okay.
I have to say that that's one of the funniest names probably in Game of Thrones.
And then we have Lord Tully, who is terrible. Samwell just wants a damn piece of bread, and his father calls him fat, and then goes in on how he's still soft, not a man. And Gilly gets sick and tired of hearing the mess, so she starts defending Samwell. And in doing so, lets it slip that, she's a wildling. He starts putting the pieces together.
Yeah, it really wasn't that hard to put together once she started saying more and more.
So it turned into this whole awkward situation. He's like, you ain't never getting that sword. Ooh. You know, Samuel's mom has had enough. She's like, nah, you're the one who is shaming us all with this bullshit, and storms out of there. But Samuel realizes, I can't leave them here with this mess. It's too much. So come on, Gilly, grab the baby. We're getting up on out of here. He steals the sword, and now they are on their way to Old Town, where he can be a maester. How did you feel about the Samwell and Gilly stuff?
I mean, it started out great as far as like with the characters. You know, we were having like the fun hijinks, going back to meet the parents and formulating a plan. Reminded me of like, you know, your typical like romantic comedy kind of setup. And I mean, in the Game of Thrones world, I guess. Started out strong. It was nice to see Gilly get all dressed up. And I mean, the reunion was kind of not great because Samuel's family, at least the males, you know, his father and his brother, they're not the friendliest of the bunch. It sucks to see his family life. I mean, I can see why he doesn't like his family, because he's subjected to a bunch of bullying immediately. It was cool to see Freddie Stroma, vigilante, portraying his brother Dickon.
We have our most random cameos in these last, I guess, 2 episodes with Richard E. Grant and Freddie Stroma and these characters.
And they're just playing. Well, I mean, Richard E. Grant is probably arguably more random because he's just like a random theater guy in a production in Game of Thrones. At least Freddie Stroma is like Samwell's brother, like somewhat more prominent. I'm glad that Gilly continues to stick up for Sam, but you know, at the same time, she reveals too much because I mean, she's not like the smartest person. You know, she's not. You know, that means she's a wildling. But I'm glad that Samwell, isn't going to just stand there and take it. He's going to, take his family and leave and not subject himself to more harassment. And he got to take his sword. So
awesome sword.
That sword is awesome. Steel. I hope that sword is like put into play sometime in the future. I mean, it has to be since he took it, right? I mean, he's going to take it, and whether he uses it or someone else uses it, like the sword was like as big as him. So I don't know if he's going to be able to use it, but I'm excited to just see it in use if it happens.
Well, then our last storyline of the episode, we see Daenerys and Dario leading this Dothraki army back to Meereen. We learned they got at best a week plus to go until they get home. And she's like, oh shit, I gotta wrangle up 1,000 ships, huh? Okay. Dario just like planting a little seed. He's like, girl, I know you want to be queen and all, but you're not made to sit on no damn chair. You're a conqueror, Daenerys. And she's like, all right, Dario, look, we going to Westeros. I gotta go.
Disregard what you have to say about that, actually.
Sir, please. As she rides off, she gets the, I don't know, what do we call this? Like the dragon tingle. She's like looking off into the distance, and everybody else is like, girl, what you doing? Like,
I guess it's a dragon sense, like a Spidey sense.
She's like, look, I'll be back. So she rides away. They're chilling out there in that hot ass sun for a while.
I guess they were out there for a while. It didn't seem like they were there that long.
Yeah. But then these Dothraki, at least, most of them, see a dragon for the first time in their life. And even if they had seen the dragon before the Dothraki, they saw him when he was like this big, riding on her shoulder back in season 2. Now he's humongous, flying over the top of them.
Right. Well, I mean, you could just tell because, like, I mean, we saw her ride out on him before, but now he's like even bigger.
And he gives a big roar right into the camera, a couple of them. The Dothraki, though, they seem to quickly switch it up. They were a little bit like shook at first, but they quickly came around and were like, you know what? Yes.
I think I'd probably be the same way if I saw a dragon for the first time. I'd probably like crap my pants and then was like, oh, the dragon's on my side. Hell yeah, the dragon.
Daenerys, she said, we gotta make a power play for these Dothraki. I know this culture, and they respect strength and power over everything. So she brings Drogon in and gives her next rousing speech to her people. It's like, nah, come with me. Are you here to give me the 7 kingdoms? Now and
a rousing speech. Yeah.
And they were here for it. The Dothraki, now they're not just with her because she burnt down their damn calls in that place. Now, she's inspired them and they're with her because they're ready and hyped for some action.
I guess to add on to that, I guess the other 2 dragons are going to be just as huge. I maybe. I mean, I don't
think
know.
They'll be a little bit smaller because they've been locked away. Drogon he just been living his best life out here. He eats what the hell he wants. He goes where he wants.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hide him at this point. I don't think he would fit down there either, even if you were going to try and get him down there.
So how'd you feel about Daenerys and her rally cry this episode?
I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean, it was just, I mean, that was kind of like, it was very short and to the point where we get to see them a little bit. And I mean, the supplies, 1,000+ ships. I mean, that's kind of insane. But yeah, it's going to take a while regardless of what they do. So I guess get used to the long travel. At least in the interim, they got this amazing, rousing speech because Drogon decided to be nice today and come back. Because he's a very moody dragon, as we've seen in the past, where he likes Daenerys, and then he'll just go somewhere and come back when he feels like. But I mean, that should be fun if Drogon sticks around this time, and Daenerys can use Drogon to fly around. And yeah, I'm excited to just see more of this when they finally get back, and Drogon's gonna be.
Maybe she heard that. Maybe she heard that week long. She's like, it'll take y'all a week. Actually, I have a other form of transport. I'll see y'all later. You can take a week to get back.
She'll be there in less than a day or two.
I got a flight ticket.
She's got like the super fast delivery option. She'll just be back real soon. Plus, we'll get to see probably, I imagine, the other two dragons. They should be just as huge, I would imagine.
Well, I guess she had to do something. So she had to give them like a good morale booster when they got a week of horse riding ahead. You got to get them hyped for something, so they're not just like, fuck all this. You know what? This was a bad plan. I'm out.
I can only imagine the thought process going through these Dothraki. They just watched this woman burn all their calls to the ground and walk out of this building on fire unscathed. And now she has a giant dragon. I can only imagine the thought process of these folks seeing this woman and this woman is insane. No wonder you follow this woman. She's crazy.
They're like, the fuck? Okay, yeah. Sure.
I wouldn't want it.
Well, that leads us to predictions. We got, Daenerys is basically in the same place she was to the last episode, just a little bit more hyped now. Marjorie and Tommen joining forces with the High Sparrow, much to literally everybody else's anger and despair. We have all the Frey wanting to take back River Run, and Jaime also heading there to take back River Run after he's dismissed. Mira and Bran with Benjen, just kind of chilling at the moment.
They're somewhere. They're doing something, I guess.
From the White Walkers. Samwell and Gilly on the move once more because they couldn't stay there. Arya out on the move by herself yet again because she's ditched the faceless man again. And then Jon and them still on their journey to meet with the Houses of the North. So what are your predictions?
I feel like being Walder Frey, well, I don't think it's going to literally be Walder Frey, but I guess Walder Frey's forces are probably going to face off against Jaime down there. I mean, it would be hilarious if it was Walder Frey versus Jaime Lannister. That's what I mean. That'd be wild. As I say, Walder Frey, but I mean his forces, not actually Walder Frey. Well, I guess Daenerys and them are going to have a long trip ahead of them. Well, maybe not Daenerys, but everybody else. Like you said, we were talking about them. She's got that fast travel now. She's got the dragon she can just fly around on. Well, I don't really know where the hell Bran and them are going. Fighting for their life, I assume, probably, until they figure out what to do. They're just out in the wilderness, and Bran keeps warging and seeing more visions and usually waking up completely shook somewhere else. Well, I feel like Jon and them are still we'll finally see what they're. I mean, I still think they're still building towards that battle with Ramsay. I mean, that's kind of the inevitable. I hope that Arya lives. It's if Arya's going to face off against the Waif, because the Waif is very strong, and we've seen that the Waif has no problem whooping that ass. Yeah. I'm nervous. I mean, let's hope that Needle is really can put in some work with Needle, because she's gonna need it.
We're gonna have a fun reunion if Walder Frey himself comes. We would have Walder, Jaime, and Brienne. She is also on her way to River Run, so another reunion possibly on the front as Brienne and Jaime both head there. We'll see.
Yeah, also, I mean, they haven't seen each other in so long, I feel like.
Maybe they won't recognize each other.
I guess I also hope that something happens in Westeros when it comes to Tommen and all the High Sparrows. Hopefully the High Sparrows get taken out one way or another at this point. I mean, they're frustrating.
Oh, Lena, what are we gonna do, girl?
They're too powerful at this point. It's ridiculous.
All right. Well, who were your faves and least faves for this episode?
Least faves, High Sparrow, Samwell's dad, the waif. I'm trying to think. Walder Frey. You know,
Tommen didn't do enough to get down there.
I would probably throw Tommen and Marjorie in it for the time being. Yeah, Tommen and Marjorie are pretty just the difficult characters. I guess that's putting it nicely. Faves, you know, Daenerys' rousing speech at the end was great. Well, I guess Jamie and Olenna and all of them, just because they had the right, you know, I wanted them, I was rooting for them, and that, you know, and hopefully they were going to take them out. Arya, I don't know. I guess that's like of the groups that we saw. Samwell and Gilly were pretty great too. They were, you know, they're more so Samwell, you know, standing up for himself. The people I disliked were much easier because it was very easy. It was
lots of people getting on your nerves this episode.
Well, yeah, Walder Frey, you know, he's always terrible. Tommen is frustrating. Marjorie now is, I guess, on the dark side, if you will. So, and the High Sparrow is just too powerful at this point. Like he needs to go, and it's all Cersei's fault.
Yeah, Cersei, don't think we forgot. You're the reason all this bullshit happened, girl. We remember.
She brought him into the fold, and it blew up in her face.
Now we're all suffering. Thanks, Cersei.
Yeah. I mean...
All right. Well, that was our reaction to season 6, episode 6 of Game of Thrones. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos, including each and every one of our Game of Thrones reactions. Also, make sure you are following Tyler. Where can they find you, Tyler?
Well, if you're not talking Game of Thrones with me on here, maybe we'll bring back some of these other reaction series that I'm a part of. You know, Daredevil is coming back, Disney Plus show, 18 episodes.
Woo!
So hopefully that's the great fire that we need to get back on the track with Hannah to finish up those other 3 seasons. So hopefully that'll come back very soon. But other than that, you can find me on my own channel. If you search up my name, Tyler Calvert, you'll find my channel with reviews, reactions, rankings, a bunch of other stuff. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, and it's Tyler Calvert.
All right. And make sure to leave your thoughts on season 6, episode 6 in the comment section down below. I love you all so much for your continued support, and we'll see you next time. Bye.